local breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 11.
Good evening, I'm Callie Rainey. Thanks for joining me on this Sunday evening. President Trump is raising the estimates of how many people will die from coronavirus disease 2019. At a town hall this evening, the president said about 80 to 90,000 people could die from the disease. He also said a vaccine is possible by the end of the year. This as Michigan reports 547 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Here's a look at the state's COVID-19 map. 43,754 people have tested positive. In the last day, there have been 29 reported deaths, bringing the total number of people who have died in Michigan up to 4,049. So far, more than 15,000 people have recovered from COVID-19. In West Michigan, Kent County has the most new cases, with 89 people testing positive. That brings the total up to 1,786. Kalamazoo County is reporting 14 new cases. That's 456 total cases. Not pictured here, Cass County with 32 confirmed cases and Berrien County with 300. The governor is greenlighting in-person real estate operations. Now, realtors are preparing to reopen on May 7th. News Channel 3's Genevieve Grippo explains what's changing for those looking to buy or sell a home.
It's virtual tours like this that have become the new standard for house hunters. But starting May 7th, the real estate industry's return to normal is taking its first steps. It's good news for realtors like Paul McIntyre.
I'm looking forward to the face-to-face interactions with my clients.
Here's how that new normal will look. No more than 4 people will be allowed inside a home for a showing. Only owner-occupied and vacant homes can be shown, and no open houses will be allowed yet. And then, of course, you'll have to wear a mask.
So the governor's order, honestly, I was surprised with how little she's asking of us. And I think what she's asking is very, very reasonable.
McIntyre says, like so many other workers, realtors are feeling the impacts under current COVID-19 restrictions.
Right now, I would probably have 5 or 6 houses under contract, and I have 1 house under contract.
But with high demand in Southwest Michigan, he says he expects things to turn back around pretty quickly. In fact, he's already got clients ready to roll. Hello, Terry. Terry Inman is one of them.
I actually put an offer in tonight.
She's hoping to land the house without seeing it in person. On Thursday, she'll get to step inside for the first time.
Not even looking at this house yet. What made you decide to put the offer in?
It's just, I've been looking for the last 2-3 months. I've been trying to get a job over on that side of the state. I've been following the market, and I feel very positive about this home.
McIntyre says this is an example of the demand in our area, giving him hope that the real estate market will prosper.
I think we're still going to have tons of buyer interest and seller interest, and I think it's still going to be a great year for real estate.
Real estate associations are also putting their own safety guidelines in place that could include things like no-touch showings, which is basically where the property owner will go through, open up all the doors, closets, drawers, and then the prospective buyers will come, take a look at everything without having to touch anything. Reporting live from home, Genevieve Grippo, News Channel 3.
All right, thanks, Genevieve. Well, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is continuing to react to this week's protests in Lansing. The protesters were opposing the governor's stay-home order. Today, Governor Whitmer says the order is working.
You know, that's a small group of people when you think about the fact that this is a state of almost 10 million people, the vast majority of whom are doing the right thing. And that's why we've seen our curve get pushed down. We've saved lives in the process. And we have to keep listening to the epidemiologists and experts and not listen to the partisan rhetoric or these political rallies or tweets for that matter. We have to keep doing the right thing, the next right thing.
Last week's protests were the second protest against the governor's stay-home order. Water levels continue to rise on the Great Lakes. Property owners along the shore are seeing millions of dollars worth of damage. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy hosted a virtual town hall to tackle the issue. Experts say they expect the damage to continue as water levels rise. They also say it's important for property owners to know their options.
There's a tremendous amount of infrastructure along our shorelines that is vulnerable. So the goal of this is to provide individual coastal communities, individual property owners, coastal planners, an opportunity to see exactly how things have changed.
If you want to see the town hall for yourself, we have a link on our website at wwmt.com. And taking you now to downtown Kalamazoo, here's a live look through our Peregrine Tower camera. It was beautiful today, but once that sun set, it really started to cool down. Meteorologist Will Haney joins us now live from his living room. Will, you say we can expect this cool down to continue?
Yeah, Callie, temperatures overnight tonight going to be a little bit colder than they've been the last couple nights, and say goodbye to those 70s at least for several days, if not really, we could say the whole week and into early next week as well. 51 right now in Holland. Things a little bit more chilly, and there is a colder air mass working its way in overnight tonight. It's a cold front that's just to our north right now, and as we look, we're pretty clear across the mitten, but that more chilly air is already starting to again move in from north to south. So a little bit of a contrast already when you look at Grand Rapids compared to Kalamazoo, about 7 degrees difference, but there's still some more warm temperatures on the map. 57 right now in Kalamazoo, 55 in Battle Creek, versus say 45 up there in Fremont. So hour by hour shows overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. We'll actually bottom out in the upper 30s, I think, but low 40s by around 9 a.m. For tomorrow, look for plenty of sunshine at least, so that makes up for the chilly air, right? We'll top off just shy of 60. We'll talk about when we could see some frost and freeze even conditions later in the week in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Will. Well, presidential town hall conducted virtually. President Trump participated in a Fox News Live from the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Christine Frizzell brings us the latest from Washington.
It's in New York.
It was a moment unlike any other in this country's history. The President of the United States fielding questions from Americans from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial as the global pandemic continues to tear apart families and this country's economy.
We've seen death like Elmhurst Hospital in Queens, right where I grew up, right near where I grew up. Know the building very well, know the hospital. They had body bags lined up in hallways. They had body bags sitting out on sidewalks. We've never seen that in this country.
At a Fox News virtual town hall, the president shared he's lost at least 3 personal friends to COVID-19, but asserted he remains optimistic about what's ahead.
We are very confident that we're going to have a vaccine at the end of the year. By the end of the year, have a vaccine.
Until that time, public health officials are warning about opening the country too soon. The number of coronavirus cases here has surpassed 1.1 million, with more than 67,000 dead from the virus.
If we open up too soon, we're going to see a resurgence of cases, a lot more people getting sick and dying, and we're going to have to shut back down again.
From Central Park to central Indiana, warm weather this weekend in many regions meant large crowds, casting social distancing guidelines aside. Despite protests, states like Michigan and Maryland will keep stay-at-home orders in place.
Sadly, we had far more people die yesterday in Maryland than we had protesters.
Still, social distancing guidelines not sitting well with some Americans. The city of Stillwater in Oklahoma walked back an emergency declaration requiring people to wear masks after employees at some businesses were threatened with violence. Following a lot of debate this weekend on the next steps for Congress, members of the U.S. Senate returned to Capitol Hill on Monday. Now, tonight, President Trump said there will be another bill soon, as some in his administration say they first want to see how the last round of funding plays out. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
Many people staying home returning to streaming entertainment like movies and TV shows, myself included. Paid subscriptions for streaming movies has increased more than 30%. The National Association of Theater Owners is projecting a big loss for movie theaters across the country, a $4 billion loss in sales. The Strand Theater in Pawpaw closed back in March. Now owner Amy Sons says she's looking at ways to safely reopen.
You know, every other seat or every other row. I imagine my staff will all be in masks and gloves, and it'll probably change the way that we handle concessions a little bit.
Sons says she expects to be one of the last businesses able to reopen.
We do not want to be the best kept secret any longer. And so we just wanted to open our doors wide to again reach every girl.
In a time of isolation, One Girls Club is working harder than ever. They're connecting with tweens in a time many may feel lonely. GYM stands for Girls Everywhere Meeting the Savior. The Grand Rapids-based nonprofit is in the U.S., Canada, and 15 countries.
We are the go-to ministry for girls' spiritual growth. For over 60 years, we've been reaching girls and providing a welcoming, safe place for them.
COVID-19 is keeping the 200 clubs in West Michigan from meeting up after school.
The clubs have been canceled, but mentoring relationships and a girl having someone look her in the eye and remind her that she's loved and that she has purpose and potential is not canceled.
Executive Director Cindy Boltema says now they're connecting with girls through gyms on the go.
A girl in a club, or a girl that's sitting home alone, or a girl that's scrolling through Instagram, like what if we could create that space to remind that girl and every girl around, like, we see you, you're not alone, and provide the things that girls love.
I feel like it will help a lot because there's so many fun activities to do and games and badges and craft videos. And yeah, I feel like it'll be good.
16-year-old Kayla Losi started in the gyms program when she was in first grade. Now she's a counselor in training.
I feel like that's helped me feel good about myself and helping other people feel good about themselves.
She says now more than ever, girls may feel lonely. She says she's excited to share what she's learned with others.
We talk a lot about loving ourselves and being a blessing to others. I feel like that's a super big thing to focus on because, like, being kind to others is very important.
We can still have peace in the pandemic. We can choose love over loneliness, and we can have victory in the virus. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Gyms on the Go offers free fun, friendship, and faith-based activities. Head to our website, wwmt.com, or check out our free News Channel 3 mobile app to connect. Well, the search is on for a vaccine to fight COVID-19. Why people say it's important for them to get the disease intentionally.
West Michigan, your neighbor needs you.
We're all taking steps to keep from getting COVID-19. Now imagine volunteering to get the virus on purpose. In tonight's Spotlight on America, Josie Sturman talked to people willing to put their lives on the line to protect us all. It's part of a potential vaccine test.
If chosen, this might be one of the most important things I do in my lifetime.
Gabrielle Kleinwax is a PhD student in Colorado with a bright future in mechanical engineering, but she's potentially putting it on the line to do something radical in this global pandemic, volunteering to get the coronavirus.
We all know what it means to donate time. We all know what it means to donate money, but this felt like something I could do to donate my health.
Same for Stanford grad Carson Poltorak, one of more than 8,000 people who have signed up, offering themselves as potential human guinea pigs in the battle against COVID-19.
I mean, it really feels like an obligation. Like, it feels like something that, I live my life by a certain set of, values, and this is, what my values tell me I should be doing in this crisis.
The crisis forcing scientists to think outside the box as they search for a vaccine. Among the dramatic ideas, the concept of a human challenge study, where volunteers get the virus on purpose to help test vaccines.
The big attraction of this type of trial is that it's much, much more rapid.
Dr. Nir Ayal, a bioethics professor at Rutgers University, published a paper proposing human challenge studies in the fight against COVID-19, saying it could shave months off the search for an effective vaccine. These studies are already done with things like seasonal flu and malaria, but Ayal knows this is different.
That it's not every day that doctors expose healthy volunteers to a virus that is lethal, that is killing so many people around the world, and for which we don't have a cure yet.
There are risks, obviously, big ones, but Ayal says young, healthy volunteers would be ideal candidates because of their lowered risk.
How do you answer the critics who say, human guinea pigs, this is dangerous, this is risky?
I argued that this could turn out on balance to be safer for these individuals because they're anyhow likely to be exposed and anyhow likely to have problems accessing care, which won't be a problem inside the trial.
Ayal says volunteers would be closely monitored and given access to top-notch medical care. And if it happens, critics say ethics have to be front and center with this type of experiment. So compensation can't be part of the picture. Concerns about people with disadvantages or limited health care options being preyed upon have to be clearly addressed and avoided. And it has to be abundantly clear what participants are getting into.
This is the kind of trial that you must have with the highest standard of informed consent.
Many members of Congress share interest in the controversial idea, which would need FDA approval. 35 of them signed a letter calling on the agency to consider human challenge studies, saying justifiable risks may be taken in this process.
This could be world changing. To help other people that way would be a gift.
I'm Josie Sturman for Spotlight on America.
A West Michigan congressman says he can win a presidential election while running under a third party. Last week, Congressman Justin Amash formed an exploratory committee. He wants to run for president as a libertarian. Now, it's often difficult for a third-party candidate to even make it to the debate stage. Amash says he thinks America is ready for a libertarian president.
So I want to go there and represent these millions of people, and I think we are at that crossroads where this kind of change can happen. Things are not settled the way they were maybe 30, 40 years ago. We have a lot of uncertainty right now, and there's an opening for a libertarian party to become a major party in this country.
Amash would still have to win the Libertarian nomination before he can take on President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. The party plans on holding its convention in July. Nearly 2 decades ago, a Traverse City man set out to see the U.S. on foot in an effort to raise money for a Michigan nonprofit. This weekend, he finished his mission of running 51 marathons.
I just wanted to see the country. I grew up in a low-income home. I never had an opportunity to see the country. And so I felt like I can see the country and maybe do a good thing for my community at the same time.
Tony Anderson wanted to run 51 marathons, one in each state and Washington, D.C. He started Marathon for Kids with a goal to help raise money for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northwestern Michigan. Anderson was supposed to run his final marathon in Cincinnati, Ohio, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the event was postponed. So he decided to do a virtual run for his final marathon through northern Michigan. That's awesome, Will.
Yeah, really impressive. I can't even imagine running a marathon at this point in my life, but maybe one day I'll get there. We talk about that. So it's a pretty cool night right now. If you're trying to catch a glimpse, there is a mostly full moon. It's about 84% illuminated, waxing gibbous. This was captured by Chad out in Marengo. I think I'm saying that right. That's a little east of Marshall. But yeah, pretty clear sky right now. And today we saw a high of 71, 77 on Saturday, and before this weekend, you know, we were stuck in that cooler than average pattern, and those blue days are going to return, and that's signaling again a below average temperature trend. So Marshall right now, things quiet this evening. Temperatures in the upper 50s in Kalamazoo, low 50s though already in Three Rivers, and you see those blues off to the north. That's the leading edge of a cold front that's starting to work its way on through. And it really swings through overnight tonight. It will be a dry frontal passage, so we're not going to see any sort of precipitation. Could wake up to some upper level clouds though, and temperatures in the upper 30s, low 40s. And as far as tomorrow throughout the day, we'll stay plenty sunny, but it will be cooler with a high just shy of 60 degrees during the afternoon. Next batch of some rain arrives, I think, late in the day Tuesday, but this system continues to underperform. Doesn't really look overly impressive, just some scattered showers late Tuesday into Wednesday morning, and especially true if you're in, say, like Berrien or Cass counties, a little bit farther southwest of Kalamazoo, just given the track of that system, it looks to keep most of that rain farther to the south and southwest. But Tuesday into Wednesday is your next time frame to see some very, very light rain. After that, our attention is going to shift to the cooler temperatures kind of locking in, especially into next weekend. That's when a more significant push of some Arctic origin air will arrive. And so, yeah, no more 70s really in sight, at least for the next 7 to 10 days. Average high is about 67. We're going to stay well below that the next several days. The coldest air again arriving Friday into Saturday. That could even lead to a freeze. And as mentioned, you know, we're staying so below average. Look at this line. That's, again, the next 10 days all on one map, or not even map, one chart. And, yeah, we're locked in. And we're going to also have some frost concerns, I think, later in the week when skies are mostly clear early Thursday, early Friday morning. With temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, you could have some frost and then freeze possible early Saturday. 57, though, right now in Kalamazoo. Let's check out our live eye camera overlooking Bronson Park. Things quiet for your Sunday night. We hope you had a great weekend, soaked up some sunshine. I did some morel hunting today, morel mushroom hunting. I found one, just one, literally one. I was pretty proud of that, but it was still a lot of fun, nonetheless. I'm being kind of sarcastic. But yeah, hopefully if you're a morel hunter, you're having better luck than I am. Overnight tonight, we'll drop to about 39 degrees. Your Maple Auto Group 7-day forecast showing sunshine tomorrow, then the cloudy skies Tuesday with some showers. I think the clouds will actually decrease throughout the day on Wednesday. So by Wednesday afternoon, we're back to some sunshine. That is also true for Thursday before some showers late in the week as well. Callie, back to you.
All right, thanks, Will. Well, majority of our team is working from home, never coming into the television station. Under Michigan's extended stay-home order, our team is deemed essential workers. We take our duty to supply important information to keep you and your family safe very seriously. Some of us are still coming to work and will still be in the streets gathering news. We are taking every precaution to practice social distancing, and we hope you'll join us. Phones are ringing off the hook for one West Michigan business now that they're back open. Why one bicycle shop owner says more people are discovering the benefits of cycling.
For 50 years, duct tape.
As more businesses open up, they're finding new ways to serve their customers while protecting them from COVID-19. Pedal Bicycles in Kalamazoo opened up last week. Under the governor's new order, their showroom is closed, so most of their business is done over the phone. The store's owner says the phones have been off the hook because of this. He says with more people at home, they're getting a chance to discover cycling.
Americans, we live these incredibly overscheduled, hyperactive lives, and it can be hard to carve out that piece of time for yourself. Now that maybe there's a little bit more time on the table, people are figuring out the good parts.
The shop is offering curbside pickup and delivery. If a bike needs to be serviced, check-in is done outside and the bike is disinfected before work is started. Well, COVID-19 is wreaking havoc on many businesses in all industries, including agriculture. These budding apple trees at Gold Meadow Farms in Richland are a sign of hope this spring. Today, the farm took to one of its fall traditions, though. A tradition of freshly made donuts. The farms open up their donut shop for donut days in the spring. Customers could pre-order and pick up curbside. Manager Justin Wenzel says the donuts were sold out days before. He says this was just a way for the farm to make ends meet.
So this is one of those things people look forward to. We generally don't ever fire up the donut machines before August. And so this is brand new, and just the reception from our customers has just been awesome. It's been fun seeing them out here and just being able to kind of see some smiling faces as they roll through.
Is anyone else craving donuts now? Well, the farms also delayed their season pass sales. And for more information and to find updates on the farm, just head to our website, wwmt.com, or you can download our free News Channel 3 mobile app. We'll be right back with one final check of the forecast.
What hospitals are doing to get better?
Well, finally, tonight, Labrador Retrievers are the top dog in American hearts. That's according to the newly released breed ranking from the American Kennel Club. It shows Labs were the most registered puppies to the AKC in 2019. That's an honor the Pooches have held for 29 years. Other breeds in the top 10 include Bulldogs, German Shepherds, and Golden Retrievers. Now, this list only includes Kennel Club certified pure breeds, which makes sense because, of course, well, I might be a little bit biased, but I have to say that my Beagle Catahoula mix is the best, of course.
Yeah, I had a lab growing up. His name was Cisco. He was like the best dog ever. I am a lab lover, I must say, for that reason.
They are pretty great.
Anyways, yeah, they definitely are. Let's give you one last look at your Maple Auto Group 7-day forecast here in just a moment. That's your 10-day temperature outlook. But as we look here, you're going to see some showers on Tuesday, and temperatures bottoming out as low as about 29 degrees later this week, specifically on Saturday. For that day, we could see a freeze or even possibly a hard freeze in a few locations. So if you're maybe doing some gardening, just keep that in mind.
Good to know. Well, hopefully everyone got out and enjoyed this lovely weekend, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great night. Stay safe.